when we make this film, we haven't thought that there will be a Redux, and actually we can see some of the elements that turn out in my later films. Because I always thought, well, what I'm going to do if I'm going to make this film now instead of like 15 years ago. And the first things that I know that I will make it into 4 films instead of 1 film, because I think the films, because that was my 3rd film, and this is the very rare opportunity to make a big martial art epics at that time. So I just want to put everything that I know, I wanted to say about this genre in this film. But in fact, this film can be more than just 1 film, it can be 4 films. So some of these elements turn out in my later film. And also this film foretells a lot of things. It's about like what's happening now. It's about this genre. It become like almost a mainstream. It's become very popular again. You can see all these films afterwards. This Crouching Tiger and Heroes, and it become like a main trend in Chinese cinema. And also about the co-production in China, because at that point it's very rare for us to shoot in China, but now for Hong Kong cinema, China become a very important, not only the market, but also a location for us to make films.
Can you explain a little bit about how you approach the reorchestration of the music, because it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, did you have any ideas how you'd approach it?
The thing is, I like the original score done by Frankie Chen a lot, and because it's quite wild at that point, we just want to do something which is very different from traditional martial art film. I give him the references Tangerine Dream versus Dire Strike. So we have all these like electric guitars and everything. And for the Redux, because there's the recording at that point, some of them is not like very good. So we have invited a group of musicians in Beijing to do the rearrangement, and also we invite Yo-Yo Ma to involve in this process. And Yo-Yo is great because he's not only just musicians, but he's also a person who understands films and images. So it's a very good, memorable collaborations. And the way we approach it is we start the film with new soundtracks, the new arrangements, the new recording, and then we go back to the original and we end up with new recording. I think we are not going to do much on the image, but we can tell the changes through the sound.
Would the soundtrack be available on the disc or not?
It's something that we want to achieve.
Okay, so I want to also open it up to the audience as well. Are there any questions for that one? Yes, please. So the question is, could the director explain a little bit about his creative process and how he actually dreams the images and the things that that he expresses in his films?
Well, actually, it's not that complicated. I still remember it was '93, and we decided to shoot this film in China. We have no idea how this location looked like. But we know, because it's written in the original novel, it's happened in the desert. So we try to find a desert, and we find this place which is part of the Silk Road, which is in the western side of China. And because at that point, to shoot in China, especially in a province like this, is very, very hard. And we work most of the time like a traveling agent, and to arrange all these trips, to send all these people, and the cast and the crew. And I remember the first night we arrived arrived in this location, it was my first AD. Just after the first meal, he talked to me, I have to go back. I cannot eat like this. I have to go, otherwise I'll get sick. So I have to send him home. And then we spent like 6 months in this place. And just remember, we live in Hong Kong, and most, my previous 2 films is about the urban city. So this is the first time that we deal with this landscape. And my DP is Australian, Chris Doyle, the sailor. He has no idea. He has no idea about all these martial art things. He had no ideas about shooting in China. And for him, shooting action is speech. He told me. That's what he said. But somehow we will find our tone, we find our frame. And there's only one regret about this is we saw the film a few months ago together in Cannes, and we still think the film should be in CinemaScope, but at that point we can't afford CinemaScope, so we have to use the equipment that we have. But the thing is, what I want to say about this collaborations, this experience is somehow we believe we can do something which is different, because Eagle Shooting Hero has been shot, has been made into films in different versions before Ashes of Time, and we believe we should do something different, and finally we find it in this desert.
Yes. So the question is, has the talent seen the film, this new version of the film, especially Bridget Lin, since she has retired after filming this film?
Actually, we watched the film together with Tony and Karina and Chris Doyle a few months ago in Cannes, and it's like an old school reunion. And we watched the film and we realized this film still looks very fresh to us. The way we look at this film is not only the film itself, but also the time that we spent together, and we're amazed how we can make it. And I met Bridget 2 weeks ago in Hong Kong, and she asked me if I can arrange a special screening for her, because now she's not in public, and I did that, and she's happy. She said, I'm very glad that I have made this film.
Yes?
Where in Xinjiang did you shoot it, and what problems did you have shooting it in that place at that time?
So where in Xinjiang was the film shot, and did the crew have any problems when they were shooting?
The town actually is called Yulin, and it is outside of, by plane, it's 2 hours from Xi'an. So it actually is almost at the border, and the other side is Mongolia. So the difficulty is that there's no proper transportations. I still